Ooh, hey everyone, how's it going? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little Manchester United roundup news video for you of the day's goings on. Late night show tonight. We're just going to get in and cover all the happenings of the club for today. So just give you the breakdown of everything that's gone on today. Not too much has happened in terms of progression, but we will cover it all in this show. Thank you everyone for getting in here and joining us tonight. Do us a massive favour at the start of the stream and smash the like button. I can see there's already 36 of you absolute legends that have already smashed the thumbs up button on the stream before it's even got going. So thank you very much to you all for getting in here and doing that. Get yourself involved throughout the show as well in the live comment section. Have your say in the live chat. Fully interactive show. Let's be having you. Right then. So Manchester United are no closer, it seems, to appointing a new replacement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We still got Michael Carrick at the wheel. He seems like he's going to be in charge for the Chelsea game. And Man United are fanning around like a bunch of fannies, as you sort of would expect us to. So we're being linked to every bloody body under the sun, including their dog, in terms of a new interim manager, should we fail to get Mauricio Pochettino, which is looking like, you know, it might be a bit trickier than we first thought. At this moment in time, Zinedine Zidane is understood to sort of be blocking the deal in the sense that he doesn't want to go to PSG right now. And, you know, that them allowing him to leave and go to us is sort of hinging on whether or not they can get a suitable replacement in there. So that's the current situation with Pochettino. Of course, his side played Manchester shitty tonight away in Manchester, and they did lose 2-1. Kylian Mbappe getting on the score sheet, Sterling and Gabriel Jesus for City. I didn't watch the game, guys. I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the game. But did anybody watch the game? How did PSG actually do? Anybody know? I mean, the facts are, if you actually look at sort of PSG, what they've been doing this season, I haven't really watched much of them, but there's a lot of different reports to suggest that if you actually analyse it, Pochettino's PSG side are struggling a little bit this year to find any sort of style, and haven't really matched the likes of, you know, the previous sort of teams we've seen under Pochettino for style, like that Spurs side. There's a little article here, or a little quote from Samir Nasri, where he's just simply explaining the situation, saying that PSG have struggled to get going. They've stuttered, stylistically, they're not that great. And so, you know, does that really fill you that much confidence? Then again, they're playing in a Farmers League. They've got all these prima donnas there. So, you know, does it really make that much of a difference to measure it in this current PSG performance as to whether Pochettino is the right man for this United side? I suppose not really. But anyway, this is the situation. Man United are plotting a swift move to appoint an interim manager after drawing up a 5-man shortlist, lads and lasses. This is what's been reported far and wide by the Telegraph as well this evening. James Ducker reporting this. We're going to be covering it now. Hey, Zayn Miassi, get in there, my son. So, Zayn Miassi with a 1799 super sticker lad of a goal emoji. Hey, Zayn Miassi, thank you very much for getting in there with your super sticker lad. Let's be having you. Zayn Miassi, there you go. Is that installment 1, Zayn? Anyway, Zayn Miassi, that's awesome of you. Thank you very much for getting in here with your super sticker lad. Appreciate that one. Appreciate that one. Nice one. Nice one. Hey there, PS is watching from India. Shout out to India. Dag Johnson's in here as well. What's happening? Batman Night fan Janice Faraclis Palmerius. How you doing there, Palmerius? Great to see you, Palmerius. Yes. How you been? Fantastic to see you. So let's just cover it then. So United plot a swift interim manager appointment if we can't get Pochettino, which at this moment in time, I mean, it's been reported by a few different outlets that it's not looking that likely now. Depends what you believe, but it's on Manchester Evening News tonight. Pochettino faces a 6-month wait to become next Manchester United manager. There was some talks about whether or not he'd be allowed to leave PSG right now because they are mid-season. They're not going to want to let a good manager leave unless they've got somebody prepared to come in and take over. Just like last season when they obviously appointed Thomas, they got rid of Thomas Tuchel and appointed Pochettino. Right then, so yes, that does seem a little bit uncertain at the moment. But yes, this is the article I was talking about from Samir Nasri. So this is what Samir Nasri said. He said, for the moment, I do not see a style with Pochettino in Paris, as there could have been in Tottenham or even Southampton, teams that he was able to make play in a beautiful way. He says with PSG, he's grasping. He still hasn't found the right formula. He doesn't know which system to really play in. I don't understand why he hasn't started to field a 3-way defence, for example. There are lots of things I see there are a little bit inconsistent, and it's a little too easy to say that it is not his project. So to clear oneself in case of failure. So, as luck would have it, Solskjaer was fired 3 days later and his name was found all over England as a possible future Manchester United manager. So he's got an interesting point here. I mean, I haven't been watching PSG this season. I don't know what sort of system or style that Pochettino's been playing. But is he just an Argentinian Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in disguise? Maybe so. Hey, thank you everyone who's in here. Who else is in here? Rushmano says we've got 55 likes. Thank you, Rushy. Yes, do hit the subscribe button on the video if you haven't done so. Get yourself involved. You only need to be sub for 1 minute to have your say in the live chat. So here we go then. Also, Sami Nasri did make a good point and said that, Pochettino's inexperienced with major stars. He said when in a locker room there are only internationals, there's a lot of ego. You have to be an alpha male to be respected. Is Pochettino too nice? That's what I'm saying. Is he the Argentinian Ole Gunnar? Is he just a little bit too nice? Stylistically struggling over there. I mean, listen, Mike, you know my thoughts on Pochettino. I think of who's available right now. He's pretty much second best choice. I'd rather have Zinedine Zidane. But if Zidane's not into us, then Pochettino makes the most sense out of sort of who's available because he does have that Premier League experience, winning with Spurs, playing decent football, not winning any trophies or anything. Doesn't have that experience, which is a big problem for me, but he's a decent appointment right now, and he's the perfect appointment for the Glazers because of the yes man factor, the fact that he is a nice guy. He's not going to ruffle any feathers. He's not going to shout from the rooftops about how gash the clubs run up top. He's going to get his head down and continue and do what he can with a limited budget as well, which is what he did at Spurs. So for them, it's perfect. They're looking for exactly this type of manager. It's just whether or not we can get him now. He is contracted until 2023 until PSG, and facts are the facts. You can't do anything about that. If they don't want to let him go, Manchester United would have to compensate PSG. But it's understood that United have had their first sort of initial contact with PSG rebuffed. So, we have made contact with PSG to talk about the possibility of a compensation package. And because of the Zinedine Zidane situation and them not having a ready-made manager to come in and step in to fill Pochettino's shoes there, we've been knocked back. So that is the current situation. The report reads that United have handed a potentially significant blow in their pursuit of Pochettino. This is from ESPN's Rob Dawson. He says sources have stated that United have seen their initial approach as rebuffed by the PSG hierarchy, although Pochettino does remain our number one target. The report states Manchester United have had an initial inquiry about the immediate availability of Pochettino, knocked back by Paris Saint-Germain, sources have told ESPN. United have made Pochettino their top target as their next permanent manager following the dismissal of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, like I say, United might not be able to go and get Pochettino right now. It could be something that happens in the summer. If I was Pochettino, I would move in the summer anyway. Just have this opportunity of this season, try and win some stuff with PSG, with Neymar and Mbappe and all the rest of them, and Messi and that crazy team, and then go to the Premier League if that was my desire. But there you go. A few other bits of information in terms of the interim coming through as well. We'll cover that in a moment. Kieran Nichols, I'm not playing FIFA tonight, my friend. No, I've actually got Mrs. P round and she's not this early night. She's free all week. So we're just going to hang out tonight, my friend. But we will be back tomorrow night with that. Get Ralph in as an interim now and sort out the full-time manager, says Malps, in the summer. That's looking like what's going to have to happen, my friend. If Pochettino isn't around right now, there's not too many perfect candidates for a permanent manager. You've got, of course, Mr. Rangnick, who could come in interim and maybe take over, but realistically, Ten Hag is another one who would be interested in a permanent job, but not in an interim capacity. So yeah, it's quite tricky to actually find the right person. So, a little bit of an update earlier on today from Fabrizio Romano. He just simply said that Manchester United board had direct contact with former Barca manager Ernesto Valverde today. This is earlier on today. No decision made yet. He's one of the 5 candidates in the list in case Mauricio Pochettino won't be allowed to leave Paris Saint-Germain. So that's pretty much the latest with, we are in contact with Valverde. We are having that, those talks with different interim managers to see who's available and who would be interested in a short-term capacity. Because it's a specialist job. You want somebody that can come in, that can actually be successful and get us to be competitive and challenge for the title this season, but you just don't want them here after that, really. You just want a short-term manager. And so there's not that many available. I mean, you want somebody with a better managerial acumen than somebody like Steve Bruce. but you also, you want somebody that you're not going to get stuck with, essentially. So you don't want to get somebody with a wrong style, or who might cause friction or whatever it may be. You want to obviously get somebody who's right for the job. And that's the tricky part about all of this. So the candidates, as it is with the top 5 list, guys. So Luis Enrique, also, it's another update from Fab. Luis Enrique won't be involved in any talks with Manchester United. He's only planning for the World Cup with Spain, and he's not going to change his mind. Sevilla manager Jules Lopetegui also denied Man United job chance and says it seems absurd to me. So a few people on the list here, lads and lasses. We will get into it shortly. Let's have a look. PS Valverde is a Spanish Ollie, says PS. That's what I mean. It seems like we've got rid of the Norwegian Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, only to go and maybe get the Argentinian Ole, or maybe even the Spanish Ole, or somebody else. I mean, I kind of agree with you. We should be going to get somebody who is clearly the right candidate for this job, and it doesn't quite exist right now. But anyway, let's talk about this on Sky Sports. So Manchester United held initial talks with Ernesto Valverde as they continue their search for an interim manager to take charge until the end of the season. Valverde is one of a number of potential candidates to have spoken with United, and it is understood other prominent managers are in frame for the role. Yes, indeed. Super chat from Kingface. He says, stop being late on streams. It annoys me. Your whole vibe annoys me, Kingface. Get over it, lad. Do you know what? I'm not late. You're early, Pratt. No, sorry for being late tonight, guys. I'm sorry to everybody for being a few minutes late, apart from to Kingface. Valverde was a brilliant coach, says Mickey L. Yes, a few minutes, a few years, he's obviously had a success at Barcelona, but in terms of like what he's, is he the right fit for United long term? He's absolutely not, is he? So there you go. I mean, let's get into the rest of the news. Then I will get into the live chat for a little bit, guys. I'm rambling on here, aren't I? But I just want to get some of this information out, and then we will talk about it. So Christian Fox come out and just said that true Brendan Rodgers is on the list of candidates for Man United. He has a release clause for a Champions League club in his contract, apparently, at Leicester City. Definitely don't want Brendan Rodgers. Let's just put a complete pin in that one right there and say, do want to Brendan Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Brendan starting in the dugout for Manchester United. Absolutely not. He's also said that false, Man United will go for Rangnick. The talks between Rangnick and United in 2019 were very unsatisfactory for both sides. So that's his opinion on the Rangnick situation. So anybody thinking about maybe Rangnick as an interim with a long-term view of doing something in a technical role might be a little bit disappointed on that one. But we also have, different report here in regards to Unai Emery is expected to become another candidate for the job. I don't see how that is happening. I mean, you're literally going to get like a Spanish Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there, man. I mean, his Villarreal side are doing nightmares over in La Liga, and we made them look bang ordinary the other night, and we're shite. So what does that say? We've also got another fresh link with another manager, Rudy Garcia, over the possible interim role at Manchester United. So L'Equipe report that United have spoken to Rudy Garcia, among other candidates, regarding the possibility of taking over the club on an interim basis. Confirming in the news initially broken by Andy Mitten, L'Equipe and the Frenchman's perfect grasp of English is one of his main strengths with regards to the job. He's managed Lille, Roma and Marseille, been without a club since the end of last year after his departure from Lyon. So I was, looking at what he's done in his career and stuff. It's really not that impressive. But hey, Rudy Garcia is another option for a manager, 4-3-3 attacking style, all the rest of it. So he has sort of distanced himself, or not distanced himself. He remained sort of quite tight-lipped on it when asked about it. So he was asked, and he said, Garcia told Canal Plus, "I'm already there in Manchester," and he laughed. But he said, "I'm here to comment on a very good game between Manchester City and PSG. In all seriousness, I don't usually comment on rumours in my career. I won't say anything about it. Manchester United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. I neither confirm nor deny anything." So Rudy Garcia maybe just being a little bit coy there, almost trying to insert himself into the conversation here, if you ask me. Yes, AR Dan, I would raid Bayern for Nagelsmann as well, but he's obviously only just been there, and that is a great job for him as well. I'm not even too sure if he'd leave that job right now. I mean, he's only just gone in. It's the start of a project for him. Clem B says we must not lower our standards. It's a trap. I respect that too, man. Zinedine or bust, I say. Come on, Zinedine or bust. They're not going to get Zinedine. He doesn't want to come. It's not going to happen, but I would love that to happen. or for Zinedine Zidane to go to PSG, then we can actually free up Poch. But then again, Poch is just pretty bang average too, if you ask me. Samuel Luckhurst giving us an update, says, I think it's going to happen. It's a case of when, and PSG knocking back MUFC inquiry now doesn't mean it's over from what I gather. So just because Manchester United have had their offer or initial talks sort of rebuffed by PSG, we can obviously go back and have negotiations. If PSG are working on things behind the scenes, trying to get somebody else to come in to replace Pochettino, and they have some success there, maybe they will be more open to the whole Pochettino release thing. I mean, if his heart's not in the job, if they're not even doing that great over there in League One either, and let's face it, they lost to City again tonight, not getting the scalp. By all accounts, you know, I've only read a few reports from different pros and stuff about how they've been playing this season, but apparently, you know, they've been clutching for form and trying to you know, find their style and find their way a little bit under Pochettino as well. So he doesn't really inspire me with the most confidence anyway, but I think, you know, if it doesn't happen right now, it probably will happen down the line as well, like we've discussed, maybe over the Christmas period or maybe even in the summer. But for now, they'd have to appoint an interim manager, of which we've got a list of about 78 people. That's what it seems like. Also, reports coming out that Steve Bruce's agent have offered his services to Manchester United should we require them, you know, just in terms of a short-term man to come in. No! Steve Bruce, as much as he's a heck of a nice guy, that's not what we want to see in the dugout, mate. Get in there, my son. Hey, we got a new member of the channel. It's that melter, Kingface. What's going on, Kingface? Thank you so much for getting in here with a channel membership and becoming a member of the channel. Let's get a cheeky little soul emoji in there. Let's go. Thank you very much, Kingface. Appreciate that. Nice one, my friend. Get in. Right, okay, I'm going to hop into the comment section for a little bit, guys. We've got a couple more other articles and news bits to get into, but that's sort of the main story if you're just joining us, really. So United linked with Valverde. We're understood to have made contact with him and a couple of other managers as well about an interim capacity job, seeing as Pochettino has been knocked, the offer for Pochettino from United to from PSG to United, or in terms of the initial discussions, we've had a bit of a knockback in that because they can't get Zidane or somebody else to come in and replace Poch. So they're not too keen on letting them go mid-season. So that's the current situation. United in the mud, clutching around, trying to find an interim. Michael Carrick is the manager at this moment in time, and no real direction of where we're going or who we've got coming in at the moment. Completely in limbo again. That is Manchester United for you. What a shambles. Let's get into the live chat, see your initial reaction from all this then. Thank you so much for getting in here. So, Janice Varaklas says, Kalispera, Valverde is top 3 manager in the history of Olympiacos. He is a legend of us, a proven title winner, has won even Man United and Olympiacos. That's why Barcelona got him, but it didn't suit. Fair enough, Janice Varaklas. I'm not discounting what he did in Greece as good, but again, it's kind of like, you know, it's like Brendan Rodgers in Scotland, if you ask me. No disrespect, Janice. Eferisto for your comment, and, you know, and all that, and Iamo ini ivramunde exikronon. And thank you so much, Janice Varaklas, but at the same time, nah, mate, that doesn't give him the credentials to do the job. No, to be fair, though, he has got the Barcelona job based on that. He's won some stuff at Barcelona. You're right, Janice. That does count for something. He did do well at Olympiacos, as you say. AR Dan comments, the secret for us getting the manager we want is making Zidane's wife happy. Hashtag make Zidane's wife satisfied. That's not going to be no easy task, my friend. That's going to be no easy task. I mean, I don't know Veronique, but I'm guessing she might be quite hard to please, my friend. That's all I'm guessing. Stephen United comments, would you take Wenger until the end of the season? As an interim, maybe. Just as a banterum. It wouldn't even be an interim manager. It'd be a banterum manager. Just to banter Arsenal fans. A banterum manager. I'd take him as a banterum manager, but that's about it. I couldn't see any other basis for it. You know, you can't have Wenger as your manager, really, because of what happened in the past and who he's managed in the past. And he would never go for it anyway. But just hypothetically speaking, yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, there's much worse candidates available that we're talking about coming and taking over right now, to be fair. Primot lad, what's going on? Illy United says, pig speaking LS League. LS League. Oh. Guys, thank you everyone who's getting in here. We're nearly at 100 likes on the stream. There's 125 of you legends in here. Do us a massive favour. Let's have a cheeky little old-fashioned Bacon Brigade like spike. And also give it a share on social media. Click the little share button. Spread it out there on social media and tell people about the show. If you want to, you don't have to. If you want to, there is a share button. Thank you very much. Right then, Elitni, how you doing, Elitni? Says, good game in the Champions League. Thank you, Elitni. Yeah, very nice win. Great to top the group, of course, because the other game was a draw between Atalanta and Young Boys, so we topped the group. Pressure's off. Jobs are good, and get in there, my son. Hopefully we can, progress into the latter stage of the tournament. But the important thing was just to have Champions League football for the next guy coming in. It doesn't seem like Carrick's going to be here very long. We're either going to appoint an interim manager in the short spell, or we're going to get a permanent manager sooner rather than later. So if we do that, then the new manager's going to have Champions League football at least. So it's just about having that, securing that, getting out of the group. I mean, it would have been an absolute disgrace not to win that group, to be fair. When you look at who was in it at the start of the Champions League, when it was drawn, I was like, oh, Kushti. This is a lovely-looking Champions League group for Manchester United. It turned out to be a bit tricky. We have managed to win the group, though, but that should have been the bare minimum expectation, really. Farzad says, I go with Carrick. He looks motivated. I mean, I couldn't really give it a toss if he looks motivated, though, Farzad. Has he got the credentials to do the job? The answer to it is, well, it's more or less no. He might just be able to pull it out of his arse and turn out to be a really great manager. But realistically speaking, he's not going to be that for us because he's been part of this whole coaching staff under Ollie. Not much has changed. I still think that if Ollie was here, we'd have beaten that Villarreal side with similar sorts of tactics because that Villarreal side are poor. It's not like we changed the world in a short space of time. He did make a couple of changes. I think the Donny Bruno one was a strange one, but he's made some changes that were different. So and it worked, and he made good substitutions, and it worked, and we won the game. The second half was great, but let's not get carried away. We should be winning that game. Villarreal, a bit of a poor team right now as well in terms of form, just as bad as us in every way, psychologically, confidence-wise, all the rest of it, just as bad as us. So for us to win that game is great, but it doesn't mean that he's the right man for the job at all. Michael Carrick, let's have a vote in the live chat then, guys, just out of interest. There's a good point you make. Michael Carrick, would you give him a job until the end of the season? Yes or no? Would you give him the job until the end of the season? I'm not saying long term, but I'm just saying, would you rather just see Carrick take over till the end of the season? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Charlie says no, Steve says no, Wiggy says no, Justa G says definitely, Janice says no, OP Dragon says no, Batman says no, PS says no. That's the correct answer, guys. That is the correct answer. You're spot on. Absolutely not. He doesn't have any credentials or proof, and he's been part of the problem that's been pre-existing here before he stepped into the main spotlight role anyway. So you can't exactly say that he's the candidate for the job. We need somebody with experience who's got the ability to come in with a big ego and get these players riled up. Do you think that Michael Carrick, no disrespect to him, but do you think Michael Carrick's really that man that could go in there, command that sort of presence, have that presence and command the respect and discipline everyone and get them all working like harder than they have done up until this point? I don't think that he really is. He's a decent guy. He's a great guy. And he's a very good player for Manchester United. But as a coach, he's got to go and cut his teeth at, Derby County, and then go and cut his teeth at, Crystal Palace, and then West Ham, and then work his way up to United. Nobody should be getting the United job just because of who they played for. Yes, Ayordan says PS Pogba is leaving even if Jesus comes as manager. Hey, fair play, Ayordan. I hope Pogba's leaving, my mate. Yes, I really do. I've just about had enough of Paul Pogba at United, in honesty. That's it. Too much time and too many inconsistencies. Charlie MUFC 1965 says United need the best of the rest as the manager. Who's the best of the rest, do you think? Poch? Do you think Poch is the best of the rest? I mean, there's really nobody clear that's like head and shoulders above anybody else right now. I guess maybe Poch because he got those links with the Premier League and building teams on a budget and having Spurs play nice football and stuff, and maybe overachieving with them a little bit. But other than that, he's not really the right candidate. So I don't even know who the best of the rest is. Ellie, how's it going? She says, yo, people, great to see you in here. Ellie, how you doing tonight? Thanks for joining. Get in there, Ellie, one of the moderator heroes, and also the Cake Cadet as well, one of the long-time legends. What's going on? Says, fuck these players, they don't care about the club. Change the record, yeah, Cake Cadet, mate. You and Jonathan Gallagher, that's all you say. Blame the bloody players. We have blamed the players. We blame the players a lot. I call Slabby a human fucking piece of concrete, for Pete's sake. We blame them. They're awful. But you know what? They're not all awful. We need to get a coach in, lad. Get somebody to get them playing properly and get them playing right. we've got to stop saying every single time, oh, it's 100%. It's not 100% the players. A few of the players have been shy and let us down, but most of them have been trying. Most of them have the right mentality. They just maybe haven't been set up right, motivation-wise, confident-wise, everything. So, let's be honest now. Some of them are awful. Don't deserve to be wearing the badge. Paul Pogba, Slabby Maguire, fucking Luke Shaw this season, Victor Dwindloff, Fred, McTominay. There's a few of them. But you know what? We still got some great players in the team, but we've got to get them playing better. Kate Cadet, how you doing, you legend, anyway? Daniela Dimitrescu, how you doing, Daniela? Comments, keep in mind, Carrick had a good mindset controlling games. Should help as a coach or a manager. Yes, fair point, Danny. We talk about the mindset, but I don't think you can really read into anything he did as a player for what he's going to do as a coach. And I'll tell you for why. We've only got one game to go on of his management so far. And if I was Carrick, I'm looking at Carrick as a player going, right, well, he was a holding midfielder there. He was somebody that was a great passer of the ball, deep line playmaker, could play those big, long forward passes, but, positive play, get his head up, play a nice forward pass, retain the ball really well, not panicking at all in the central midfield area. That's what I think about when Carrick, just a solid player, consistent, cool customer in that area. Not spectacular, but just absolutely consistent and solid as a damn rock, and always, you know what you're going to get from Michael Carrick. 7 out of 10 every single week. Consistent, solid, and a great passer. Now, if I was Michael Carrick, I'm looking at the players in the United setup that we've got at the moment, and I do not select that midfield that he played the other day. So that's the most anti-Michael Carrick midfield you could have gone for. And let's be honest, if I'm Michael Carrick, I go, what attributes do I look for in a team, in a midfield? Well, Donny's got a lot of them, Matic or whoever, Pogba if he was fit. But no, he's gone with McFred, just like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that doesn't really make sense. It's like those guys don't have anywhere near the passing ability or intelligence on the ball as Michael Carrick did. And so I know that's not why you selected them, but the point I'm making is you can't really base anything that he's done as a player or how he was as a player on what he would do as a manager, because I would have thought he would have selected Donny in a deeper role to get him to control the game with his passing ability, like a Michael Carrick type player. But he didn't do that. He just put him up there instead of Bruno and played McFred. So, I don't really know if Carrick's, if that even means anything, to be fair. Hey, thank you, Ellie. She says, like and subscribe, everyone. Yeah, do hit the thumbs up button if you're just joining us. Nearly at 100. Smash your like, get your opinions in, and let's be having you. Jason Adams says, you are sleeping on Valverde. He might not be #1 manager at Barcelona, but he's a great manager, says Jason Adams. Hey, fair enough. Listen, he won some things. Decent coach. Yeah, look, in terms of an interim manager, he seems to be leading the pack of managers right now that we could be chasing. If Pochettino is not obtainable, maybe it will be Valverde that's given the job. Either that, or they go with somebody really safe, or they just cheap out and they go with somebody like Steve Bruce or something. I could see also that happening, but I do think that Valverde is leading the candidates at the moment as a short-term manager, because he is probably the sort of guy that will come in and just go at the end of the season, take a nice, decent payday to oversee this. He's got the experience there. Stylistically, it's more of what we're looking for. So in terms of the manager, yeah, I could see that happening as interim capacity should we not be able to get Pochettino. That's the situation, isn't it? Just getting in. What's going on, Dizzy Red Devil? How you doing there, mate? What if Man U beats Chelsea, says Farzad? It's only one game. That doesn't change my opinion about Carrick whatsoever. So if the lads manage to turn up and put it all together and Carrick sets them up and they play freely and they get the job done against Chelsea, brilliant. Doesn't change an opinion for me, though, about whether or not Carrick should do the job. Think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first run at the United job when he was given the interim managership. He has done really well, won like 10 out of 10, got us playing great football. That's why we gave him the job. But it doesn't excuse the fact that his credentials were not there for the job. He came in an interim job. That's why he was there. He wasn't given it first of all. He earned it by proving or showing that he could actually do the job. And he did it really well to begin with. But then what happened? No, as soon as it was almost like a switch had been flicked. As soon as he actually had the permanent job, I don't know what it was psychologically with the players or what. I have no idea. But it just suddenly after that, we suddenly dropped off and it took us a while to get going again. And the rest is history. But so with Carrick, just even if he wins the next 10, It's like you can't give him the job. He doesn't have the experience. We need somebody with a big name, big ego, big character to come in there, big name, and with the CV and the track record of winning things. That's what United need right now. Not another Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in disguise. That's not what we need. Sean Gold says, I'll take any manager at Manchester United. I know, yeah, it's just almost like we need to get somebody permanent now. Right? You don't want an interim manager. You just want a permanent manager. AR Dan says, just get one ASAP and get over with, says AR Dan. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Just get somebody. I know the flying pigs will certainly fly if Manchester United can beat Chelsea on the weekend, says Mark Ashton. Does anybody actually think we can win it? I mean, listen, this is United we're talking about. We've got good enough players. You know, I go into this game feeling like Chelsea are currently the best side in the league. But anything can happen on it any day, on any game of football. You know, if United turn up, if Carrick sets us up well, and if the players that we've got perform, people like Bruno and Ronaldo and all the rest of them, we've got some great talent. Sancho had a good game the other day. If he can turn up and have a really positive game, etc., then there's no reason United can't beat Chelsea. So, yeah, that right now, they're the favourites to win it, of course. But United still have a little bit of a chance in that game because we are United and we've got some fantastic players. Maybe Ollie never listened to Carrick, says Farzad, or what does that mean? Guys, do us a favour and hit the subscribe if you're new. By the way, everybody, we are fast approaching 50,000 subscribers. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. Get involved. We cover United every single day. Have your say in the chat and hit the subscribe. Slightly Salted Steve's in here. Always love that name. He says, would you take Ryan Mason as manager? Got a decent record as manager. You what? I mean, no, listen, we need somebody like with a proper good record as manager. You know, we need somebody who's got like a CV of managing top sides, maybe even a CV of coming in and doing it in a short-term capacity, but stylistically represents and fits United well. It's funny, isn't it? Because Conte went to Spurs. I mean, in hindsight, maybe he would have been a good appointment by United, but obviously there's problems there with the past. I didn't want him. I'm just saying maybe in hindsight, you know, he would have actually been decent because he's got that mentality of like commanding presence in the dressing room. He's also got the history of winning things in the short term and sort of coming in and having a decent effect or an immediate effect at Chelsea and then obviously at Inter Milan as well. So yeah, in hindsight, even though I don't think he's the right guy for us stylistically or, you know, ego, like character-wise, certainly not for the Glazers, he would have actually been, you know, when you think about who's available now and who we're talking about and struggling to get an interim manager and scratching around, like he would have actually been much better option than like 99% of the people we're talking about right now, because at least it would have been a 2 or 3 year project, like get him in here, get us going in a certain direction. And he probably would get us some short-term success. But what do you sacrifice for that? Really what United need to do, if we're going to appoint a permanent manager that's not Pochettino, I think you've got to go with Ten Hag now. Zidane's not interested. I think you've got to go with Ten Hag. If you can't get Poch, maybe just stick in Ten Hag to end of the season, but not to end of the season, actually give him a few-year contract, because stylistically he'd be great for us. Project-wise, he'd be able to build something or, you know, get this play in a certain way and bring some youngsters through the system, you would think. And that Dutch total football style. I mean, again, tonight, you know, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know how they played. But again, tonight, Ajax beating Besiktas 2-1 away from home. Haller getting the 2 goals for Ajax. Tagliafico Martinez getting. He's obviously built a really good team there in the Netherlands. And, you know, they're doing bits. They topped the group. 5 games, 5 wins in Group C for Ajax. 5 played, 13 plus goal difference, 15 points. In a group with Sporting Lisbon and Borussia Dortmund and Besiktas. That's a tough group for Ajax, but they've made it look like a cakewalk. They've made it look super easy. So, you know, you can't really deny that actually Ten Hag would be a great candidate. I think he would be a good candidate for us based on who's available. So, yeah, Ten Hag, he gets my vote for second choice manager here. And like in terms of the Eredivisie and stuff, it's nowhere near the Premier League. You can't really base, you know, that on what he's done. But look at what he's doing in the Champions League. He's clearly a clever manager. He's getting the results. He's manoeuvring past these teams. And you know, his side's obviously impressive. So that's all I'm basing on. Who's available? Who wants us? Who could be a long-term project? Who could lead us into a new era? Who's got a style about them? Who could be that new Klopp in a couple of years' time? You know, he's not there now. But if you look at progression of managers' careers, this could be that big club opportunity that he needs to get some success and win some trophies on a big scale. if he's hungry, if he's, he's a decent choice is all I'm saying. He's a decent choice. Ten Hag in the summer, says Melps. AR Dan says Ten Hag would not refuse a good contract in Manchester. That's what I'm saying. Ajax is a great club. Don't get me wrong. Big club, the biggest club in the Netherlands, really. There are some other big clubs, PSV, Feyenoord, etc. But Ajax is the daddy. And, they've won some stuff. Of course, they got to the semis a few years ago in the Champions League. They've done all right, but they're always going to be limited. They're always going to be shackled because that's the league for them. They're playing in the Eredivisie. They don't have the same standard of player overall as, say, the Premier League because not as many people watch the Eredivisie. They don't have as much money within the league, within the game. It's hard to keep hold of the best players that they produce over there. They do produce great amount of brilliant players, but it's tough to keep hold of them. And so you're always limited. You've got a ceiling. You have a low ceiling at Ajax. Whereas at United, the sky is the limit with what you can do. You can go and you can win the treble if you've got a good enough team and a great management style and build a good enough project. So I think he would know that the opportunity to manage United would be very special. So he is a decent shout because I think he would come if United laid an offer on the table to him. How can he turn it down? I mean, Ajax is a good club, but it pales in comparison to the Goliath that is Manchester United with Cristiano Ronaldo in the team and all the rest of them. So, yeah, Ten Hag would surely be keen on the job. He's a decent backup option, if you ask me. Let's just have a vote in the live chat really quickly. Just get your manager's name in there. Which manager would you most like to see come in on a permanent basis? We talked about the interim role earlier, but on a permanent basis, who would you most like to see come in? Ten Hag in the summer, says Malps. Disco Dave with a €2 super chat. Thank you, Disco Dave. He says, question, are we a top 4 team this season, mate? Disco Dave, I say yes. I say yes, we are. I don't think it will be far into that top 4. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, we are looking a little bit poor for the title challenge already. It's still early days, ridiculously early days, and things can turn around quickly. If Chelsea drop a couple of points in a couple of games, we go on a run. Of course, things can change around quickly, but I just got a feeling, we are going to be fighting out for top 4 this season as opposed to fighting for the title. So I do think we get top 4, but probably 3rd or 4th. I don't think we're going to be challenging for the title. There's definitely teams that are better than us this year from what we've done and what we've seen with the start of the campaign anyway. Yeah, it's Dutch football, says David Hum. Yeah, but Dutch football is beautiful football, man. Total football, the total Dutch football, But I see what you're saying. It's not the standard of what United is expecting with a manager. And that is my biggest problem with Ten Hag is his history and his CV and his name, just his name. It's not big enough. Man United's a huge brand and it's a huge team and there's so much pressure and expectation. It's a big step up for somebody like Ten Hag, that's true. Farzad with a brilliant point, though, says high-profile managers like Jose have failed to get success at Man United. This is why Man United's not going to rush to get a new manager and Carrick has his chance to prove himself. Well, fair enough. I mean, I believe that they've just done that. I honestly think the only reason Carrick's got his chance to prove himself is because they've scapegoated Ollie, essentially, and realised, oh, shit, we don't actually have the ability to get somebody in here quickly, so we're going to get rid of Ollie just to appease the fan base and just to suggest that he was the biggest problem with the club. So we're going to get rid of him. We're going to appoint Carrick and these guys because we've just given them a new bloody contract. So, let's not cause too much of a financial burden all at one go. And then, get Carrick in there. And then they've gone, oh, shit. Who do we get now? Oh, no. Ooh, who do we get now? Oh, crikey. Get the Rolodex out of there, Eddie. Get the Rolodex out, Ed. Oh, they're going through. It's like they're panicking now, scratching around trying to get somebody. That's what it seems like to me. That's all they're doing. And they've got no real plan. So whether or not their plan is to, appoint an interim manager in a week, just let Carrick oversee things until after the Chelsea game, then appoint an interim manager to the end of the season. We don't know if that's their plan. We don't know if their plan is to appoint somebody permanently after Carrick or in the future or in the summer. The fact is we don't really know. We can only hope that they do put somebody in place sooner rather than later. But chances are with our board and the way they run things, they'll just keep fannying around and Carrick will stay in the job for longer than first anticipated. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so this is quite interesting. So a couple of quotes from PSG here. Pochettino asked if he's told his players he's committed to PSG. And he said that the players know very well our situation. They know their situation. We all living in a business where rumours are there. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? It's like asking a team of mercenaries how much of a mercenary you are. PSG know what's going on here. They know all the players know what's going on there, don't they? Ander Herrera post-City match interview, he commented and said this: "Since the first day I came here, I've been hearing rumours about this club, players and some of the best players in the world. When you have some of the best coaches in the world, you cannot avoid that," says Ander Herrera. So there you go. Lots of links there with Ander Herrera, PSG. Breaking: Borussia Dortmund have been knocked out of the Champions League after losing 3-1 to Sporting CP. So if you didn't know, Borussia Dortmund, of course, were knocked out after losing to Sporting. Let's have a look at Group C, which they are in, which Ajax won. So Ajax won with 15 points and Sporting got second place with 9. And Borussia Dortmund knocked out with only 6 points in third place. Haaland to Manchester United, lads and lasses. Bit of Erling Haaland to Manchester United action, lads and lasses, in the summer. Come on! But anyway, Dortmund knocked out. Haaland won't be happy about that, will he? No. I think, Haaland will probably move in the summer, won't he? I think that's pretty much accepted. It's just whether or not he goes to one of the big Spanish teams or goes to one of the big English teams. I think that's all really that we're debating right now. Hey, Eddie, have a good one. Thank you so much for getting in here. OP Dragon says, yeah, no FIFA pick is grounded, says OP Dragon. I can't actually do the FIFA Tonight, lads and lasses. Well, I could, but I'm not going to do the FIFA Tonight, lads and lasses. Mrs. P's only night off this week, so we're hanging out, going to watch a movie and stuff and just chill tonight. But I'll get bang on it tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be doing FIFA, so don't worry about that. That will all be back in the evening. Guys, hit the thumbs up button. 178 of you legends in here. Can we smash 169 likes on the stream? Smash the thumbs up button if you are just joining us and you haven't done so. It's free. Give it a cheeky little Kung Fu Cantonade tickle. Nice one. Right then, so yes, just the evening's fixtures. Liverpool obviously beat Porto. Sporting beat Dortmund 3-1. Real Madrid beat Sheriff 3-0. Man City beat PSG 2-1. AC Milan beat Atletico Madrid 1-0 away from home. It's a good result for AC. RB Leipzig beat Club Brugge 5-0. Inter beat Shakhtar 2-0. Ajax 2-1. So we know who's through, more or less, with the Champions League groups here. Looking likely who's going to go through. It's mostly the usual suspects. I mean, Dortmund is a bit of a surprise. There's not too many big surprises, but yeah, it's going to be a tough next round, that's for sure, for Manchester United, unless we get our shit together and get a manager in who's capable of getting us playing some bloody football by then. So I'll tell you what, some of the performances we put in recently come up against these top sides in the Champions League. We're going to get mullered, lads. It's going to be like those City and Liverpool games all over again if we're not careful. We've got to get a certain way of playing. We need somebody to come in now and get this project steered in the right direction. It's a shambles. So the Mail, which I don't usually quote ever, but the Mail reporting that there's short list of 5 candidates as interim manager, and this is their shortlist. It's slightly different from the Telegraph shortlist. So Ernesto Valverde, who we've held talks with today, is number 1 option. And I think that is looking like the most likely maybe interim manager right now, if that's to be the case, which, I'm not too keen on, but there you go. We've also got Paulo Fonseca, AS Roma boss, former AS Roma boss, Lyon boss, former Lyon boss, Rudy Garcia, and Lucien Favre, former Borussia Dortmund boss, and also Lokomotiv Moscow sporting director Ralf Rangnick. Villarreal boss Unai Emery has also been part of the conversation as well, and Pochettino as a permanent, of course, is on the agenda also. So that's basically it, guys. That's basically this. Steve Bruce as well, sorry. Steve Bruce. That is the list, lads and lasses, of possible interim managers. It sounds like a bit of a shit show, doesn't it? Man, oh man, we need to do something here. Okay, so I'm going to get into the live chat for a bit of a Q&A at the end of the stream now, guys. If you're just joining us, the biggest news, United have held talks with Ernesto Valverde today as they search for our interim manager. We've also understood to have held talks with people like Rudy Garcia and various other managers. We've also had a sort of conversation with PSG rebuffed or knocked back in regards to Pochettino because they don't have anybody lined up to take over. Fucking sort yourselves out, United, you bunch of bloody melters. What a shambles. They've just done this all publicly as well. Like, what a shambles. Why wouldn't they just work on this? Just keep Ollie at the wheel for a couple of days. Work on this. Get it all arranged and aligned and preordained. And then fucking do the business and get rid of Solskjaer and get somebody else in. I don't see why they've had to do it like this. So all cack-handed and just lazy. It's like they're doing their homework on the school bus the morning on the way to school. They're just scratching around trying to fucking get something handed in. And that's not the way to do it when you're talking about deciding the fate of Man United. You want to get somebody who's right for the job. And they've really not done a good job of this anyway. It's a fucking shambles. But that's basically the latest news. So I'm going to get into the live chat now, guys. Hit the thumbs up on the video if you haven't done so. Smash a like on it. Smash a subscribe. And let's be having you. Zoo and 984 others says, look at Poch, got outclassed today, bottled it against City. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say bottled it against City, but I do think you're right, though. You know, it's disappointing, isn't it? They're away from home, though. They've lost the game 2-1. Mbappe got on the score sheet. I didn't watch the game, to be fair, so I don't know if they got totally battered or not. You're telling me they did. Fair enough. But, yeah, like I said, this season, so by all accounts, PSG have not been the most inspiring, and they've been struggling for style. They have got a big team full of Galacticos. I guess it's sort of similar in some ways to United. So, yeah, can Pochettino do the business at United if he cannot do it at PSG? It's not convincing, is it? Southwestern Eagle, hello, mate, says Carrick seems to be okay. I mean, he seems okay, yeah, but we don't want okay. We can't settle with okay. What are you going to do with okay, mate? We don't need okay. We need great. We need wonderful. We need awesome. We need stupendous. We need world class. We don't need okay. But I feel what you're saying, though. Janice says Valverde is playing pure attacking football. He will suit our playing style perfectly, and he never gives up. He may not be the most famous manager, but he's a great manager. Trust me. Okay, Janice Fractus, I like your style. Well, hey, look, if it is to be Valverde, I'll get behind it, certainly until the end of the season. He'll probably come in an interim role with the idea that maybe if he really does impress and get United, you know, to some silverware and get us playing good football, then maybe he would take over, but permanently in the summer as well. That is a possibility. So Pochettino could maybe lose out on this Man United job if he doesn't come sooner rather than later, because, like I say, if an interim gets the job and does really well, you'd be more inclined to stick with that manager rather than chop them out of the frame in the summer just to go and get someone who might not work. So an interim manager at United has a really great opportunity here. Like, they know that they've only got a short-term job. There's not very much pressure on them because they're only expected to stay until the summer, but they've got like a really great audition period here just to like try and get this club to win something, and maybe they'll get the job afterwards then. So I think that's a good point. I mean, Valverde seems decent, Janice. Out of all the managers that are currently available, he at the moment seems the most likely as interim. Next United manager, interim odds. Let's have a look what the odds checkers are saying right here. Here we go. Next Manchester United manager odds. So we've got the Betfair odds anyway here. Mauricio Pochettino 6-4, still the favourite to take over as the next Manchester United manager. Ernesto Valverde is now second choice, so 4-1. He's the second most likely to take over. Michael Carrick 5-1. You know, if he continues, if he does beat Chelsea, if he goes on a little run, that will only continue to grow as well. Brendan Rodgers is currently 12-1, and Eric Ten Hag is 14-1. I think those are the most realistic. I think that is the most realistic managers really there. You know, we've talked about Radnick, we talked about maybe Blanc or Zidane or Luis Enrique, but I don't really see any of them being that realistic. To me, it's these guys. I'm just going to put the betting odds in the live chat really quick just so you can see that for yourselves. But to me, that seems like it's what it is. Hey, thank you, Berber, for putting the link to the channel membership in there. Rush Mano says we've got 127 likes. Get in there, you legends. Thanks for smashing a like on the vid. David Hunt says you talk about United being great. When's the last time United was great? Stop living in the past. It's like England with the World Cup. But it's not really like England with the World Cup, David Humland. What are you on about? They won that in 1966. We last won the Premier League in 2013. Yeah, it is a while, mate, but it's not that long. We also won a major European trophy last in 2017. Also quite a long time ago, but not that long. We're still a big club. Shut up, David. Dave Keating says, Valverde, does he speak the English? But we're not where we should be. You see, that's the difference between United and other clubs. We are super unhappy when we are not winning everything, because that's the nature of our club. We should be winning things, and it does feel wrong when we've gone 8 or 9 years without winning anything. But, you know, we will have our day again. This is, make no mistake, the greatest club in all the land, and we will have our day again. It's just a case of building back up to it. And once Klopp and Pep and these guys have gone as well, let's face it, Liverpool and City, they're in a great cycle right now. They're in a great moment. But Liverpool went 30 damn years without winning the First Division or the Premier League title there. 30 damn years. So let's not get carried away here. Manchester United is nowhere near that level of mediocre shite. We are in a downturn, definitely, but we could be back on the way up very, very quickly. No, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, Matty Braga says, it's an American thing. Yeah, that's an American thing, bro. Rushmano says, hashtag Glazers out. Get in there. Let's get hashtag Glazers out trending in the live chat. Come on. Coda hopes it's Valverde. All right then, guys. So let's have a little vote in the live chat then. So as terms, I'm going to get a little poll on the go very quickly. Right? We're going to stick around for a little bit longer tonight here. So let's just take a look here. Interim, I'll ask you interim. We got Valverde as a serious option. Rangnick is a serious option, I suppose. Who else is a really serious... I mean, let's just go Carrick. Let's just say they give Carrick the interim job until the end of the season. Let's put him in the list. And interim. So realistically, let's just go with those three. I don't think there's anybody else that's realistic as an interim. I think all the other guys, Ten Hag, Zidane, Pochettino, they're all going to be coming in as a permanent job. So I'm just going to actually go and ask you this, which is just simply... Blanc. Okay, I'll put Blanc on the list as well then, Matty Braga. Go on then, just why not? Why not? There you go. So there you go. Interim manager until the end of the season. Let's say Pochettino does not come. Let's say Manchester United cannot appoint a permanent manager or choose not to. Who would you like to see oversee things until the end of the season? Have a vote in the poll, in the live chat. Do get your opinions in there. Have your say. For me, out of those guys, I guess Valverde is the most interesting right now. He's won quite a lot. Stylistically, he'd be decent. He's not long out of management. He's not just been sat around for absolute years, just festering away like a true dinosaur. He's still reasonably young in terms of the managerial game. So I think Valverde is a decent shout. Plus, who's available right now, Peeps? Who's available? I want somebody with proven trophies. And he does have proven trophies. I mean, let's just get his transfer, Ernesto Valverde. Let's get his transfer market profile up here just to remind me what he's won. But I know he's obviously won a couple of trophies with Barca and a couple with Olympiacos as well. So this is his trophy haul. He's 57 years of age, Spanish coach, plays 4-3-3 attacking football more often than not. And the Spanish Championship won it in 18-19 season with Barca and the 17-18 season. Now, they did have a great time, great team, but you still got to win it. You still got to get the team performing and picking up the results. That's impressive. Also won the Spanish Cup that season in 17-18. Spanish Super Cup in 15-16 with Athletic Bilbao, different Spanish team. So success with a different Spanish team as well with Bilbao in 15-16, which got him the Barca job. And then he's obviously won the league with Barca straight after that. Before that, he's cutting his teeth in the Greek league, where for 3 seasons out of 4, he has won the Greek championship, which is pretty impressive, and also 2 Greek Cups as well. So you talk about somebody that he's not got the most amount of seasons managed, but if you're talking about, his trophy haul, it's actually very impressive. It's decent, man. He's won a lot of stuff. He's won quite a few things, which is a lot more than can be said for people like Pochettino or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Michael Carrick. So in terms of winning things at the top level, he's got abilities there. He's won it, and that's one of the biggest ticks that I'm looking for to appoint somebody for a manager, especially if they're an interim manager, because you want somebody that can maybe do what, say, like Tuchel did, where he turned around the team very quickly and get us competitive for trophies again. So yeah, I would go with him because he's got the acumen to win trophies. He's got that ability, and he plays that 4-3-3 attacking style, which I think Manchester United would benefit from and would suit us, and the fans would love that. We'd love to see us playing some attacking stuff again. So, yeah, let's have a vote, though. It's very close in the live chat. Right now, there's 59 votes. We've got 32% Valverde, 27% Rangnick, 27% Carrick, and the rest for Blanc. So very, very close, undecided from the fan base in the live chat who you think would be best. Valverde, who says Big God Bob, former Barca manager. Matt Braga says Valverde bottled Barcelona horribly. Okay, in the end, that may have happened. But you know what? What about the couple of seasons where they did have success? You can't get away from that. I mean, that's sort of generally what happens with most managers and most reigns at football clubs, doesn't it? Even the long-term ones, even Wenger at Arsenal, it sort of ended up with them bottling it at the end. You drop the ball at some point. It's just the nature of the game. It's so hard to get everything to click every single season. But for a couple of seasons, he's done the job. He did it previously at Bilbao and previously at Olympiacos. So, I don't see why that makes a huge deal. Jose bottled it at Chelsea, and we got him in at Manchester United. He won us 3 trophies that first season he was here, or 2 that season, and then the Community Shield the next. So, he... that's what happens to managers. When they get sacked at a club, they bottle it at the end. Now, I can't really remember. Listen, I've got a terrible memory. I can't really remember what the hell was going on with Barcelona at that time when he was there. I just can't. I've got a shoddy memory. But even if he did bottle it at the end, I mean, we're talking about going to get Pochettino, who definitely bottled it at the end of the Spurs job. Most managers end with a sticky end at a football club. That's sort of how it goes. Just a Jesus, Barca sacked Valverde when they were first in La Liga. Are you serious? Ryan says, how did he bottle Barcelona? He was top of the league when he got sacked. Well, how did he bottle it then? There you go. So he won 2 trophies out of 2 years and then got sacked for being first in the league. I mean, there you go. That basically tells a story of what I'm saying. But even if there was a bad end at the club, it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean they won't be a good coach for your club. That's just what happens with managers at football clubs generally. They will have a really bad season where everything sort of implodes and then they get sacked. You see that happen a lot of times. Ranieri or fucking, Mourinho, whoever. .420 Crusader says people voting for Carrick must think that Ollie should have stayed. I know 420 Crusader. That's a good point, actually. I agree with that. A vote for Carrick's a vote for Ollie, really. Dave Keating says Brendan Rodgers can throw a Wellington boot the full length of the pitch. Yeah, he could throw it over a 3-story house, that man. He's quite something else. I've seen that myself with my own eyes. Dermot Boyle, hello there, Dermot. He comments, the squad has more unrealised potential than any other Premier League team. Another good transfer window. This team will be dynamite. Managers should be queuing up. Great point, Dermot Boyle. It is a great squad filled with talents. And if we just get the right, central defensive midfielder in, maybe another centre-back to replace that human slab, we'll probably have a top draw team. I agree with you. So, yeah, any manager should be licking their lips at the prospect of managing Ronaldo and Bruno and even Pogba, players like this, if they are really top managers and want the top players. Valverde refused to play tiki-taka. That was his downfall, says A.R. Dan. Radnick called CR7 in an interview too old 5 years ago, says Farzad. Klopp nearly relegated Dortmund doesn't mean he's a bad manager. That's true as well, slightly salted, Steve. You're right, and sometimes it doesn't work out at certain clubs. Sometimes, if you look at Klopp, actually, he's a fine example. He didn't really have that success. He's losing finals. He was sort of known for the manager that loses finals before they finally won at Liverpool. So, you have to say that it's not all about that. There is an evolution of a manager's career, just like there is of the players, where they hit their prime, where they learn, where they're experienced, where they're better than they were when they were less experienced. That's just how it goes. So, yes, a good point. Carrick is Ollie 2.0, says Yo for Nasal. We should have kept Ollie and fired the coaches, to be fair. I agree, Olsen, if this is all we're going to do, if we're not going to have had somebody lined up ready to come in and we're just scratching around for a manager, might as well have done. I agree. Philip Chapman says, Mrs. P is waiting. Go and chill. She is, but we're just chatting for a few minutes, then I'll be wrapping this up. Palash Fadnir says, Poch is stupid for not coming right now, says Palash Fadnir. I'm not even sure if it's about that. He's got a contract to PSG. If we've reached out to PSG and say, hey, can we come and compensate you and take your manager off of you? And they've said, not really, because we don't have anybody else coming in right now. Sorry, he's here, he's contracted. That's all that you can really do. I mean, it doesn't mean things will change, though. Things might change, and you might actually have them get somebody else lined up like Zidane or somebody else, and then Pochettino's available. But until then, he is a PSG contracted manager. Hey, Haroli, how you doing tonight there, my friend? Good to see you in. What's good? He says, evening, Piggo. Evening to you, Haroli. Thanks for stopping in, my friend. Guys, if you're just getting in here, hit the like button, smash the subscribe, have your say for a few minutes before I wrap this video up. Wondrous Word says, bring in CQ. Carlos Quiroz. Pedram Paragoni says Radnick is by no means an interim option, more of a director of football type person. Yeah, true, Pedram, but he has stepped into coaching roles in his career throughout his span as a football technical dude as well. Like there was a time where he's coaching RB Leipzig as well as doing stuff behind the scenes and being the sporting director and growing all the football avenues and all the rest of it. So he could technically do both. But I agree, he is more of that sort of guy. But that would be the idea. If you were going to give him the interim job, he would sort of probably come in with the idea that eventually he will go into a technical role within the club's hierarchy there. That is the idea. Hey, Mikhail Kramer, what's going on, bro? Great to see you. He's still got Dortmund to a UCL final, just like Poch. Yeah, just a G. Great shout. 2 Greek cups and 1 Spanish one. 1 Spanish urn, says Dave Cooting. Radnick called CR7 too old 5 years ago, and CR7 is not going to let him get the job. Okay, fair enough. I'm pretty sure they could probably brush that under the carpet if that was the case. I don't think it will be Radnick. I think it will be maybe Valverde interim. I'm still holding out, thinking they might be able to appoint Poch sooner rather than later, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. I could easily see Carrick stay here until Christmas period where they give the job to Poch. or even in this week, I suppose. Danny Ward, how's it going? Good, my friend. Good to see you. How are you? Do you think the board will get this done by the end of the week, says Malps? No. I mean, I don't. I don't think they'll get it done by the end of the week. I think it'll be well after the Chelsea game now. Carrick is here. You know, they're contacting everybody about the job as an interim capacity. They're trying with Poch still. So like I say yesterday, Manchester United are working on two different managers at the same time. We're working on a permanent manager. If we can get him, obviously he's going to take precedent. But we're also working on an interim manager just in case we can't get Poch. So we're actually working on two different manager jobs at the same time for the same job. It just depends on who we're trying to get. So we're working on the same role, but obviously different sorts of types of roles. One would be as a permanent manager with a long-term project. The other is just a short-term to see us over to the end of the season. It's a shambles. Get Don Piglioni to the end of the season, says Stephen. Give it Pigs Eat to end of the season, says Mikhail. Is it midnight for you? It's getting on for midnight. It's 20 to midnight now, actually, Banana Grapes. Illa United says the board will give Carrick to the end of the season and it will be terrible. Could be. He's not proven for me. Fletcher is the technical one, says Olsen. It is quite likely, though. Yeah, Batman Night Fan says it's quite likely. It is quite likely. I could see them sticking with Carrick for a while until the end of the season and then getting Poch in. It's sort of easy for them to do that, especially if Carrick does really well in this Chelsea game. They could just justify it a little bit more. He needs to go on a good run to even be considered, though. The board are clowns, Batman Night Fan, but it's the sort of thing they would do. I could see them doing it rather than going to get us a proper manager and getting us in the right direction. I could see them just giving it Carrick to the end of the season. Joachim Low, big face, mega international success. Fair enough, Mark Ashton. Good, great manager. Joachim Low, great manager. But he picks his bum and smells it in the dugout. Is that who you want as your United manager? Sorry, but no. I'll tell you what, even if I'm coming up against a game with Joachim Low in the opposition dugout, I am taking my hand sanitizer with me, that's for sure. And I'm talking about well into the distance in the future past when COVID's gone. I'm just saying, anytime you come up against Joachim, you got to take that hand sanitizer with you, mate. Coda says, I think none of the current options can't compete with the likes of Pep and Klopp. True. It's kind of true. I mean, you're talking about the best coach in the league. It's true. It's sad, but true right now. But we're just hoping that we can find somebody that can. Maybe Ten Hag, unleashed at United or something like that, could do some wondrous things given the keys to a bigger, better vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could. Disco Day with a €5 super chat. Thank you so much for getting in here. He says, these owners want us on the Carrick in bus. Saves them money. They did it with Ollie. We need to open our eyes. They're all about business, not the club. Spot on, Disco Dave. Hashtag Carrick out. Absolutely, Disco Dave. Hashtag Glazers out. No, I love Carrick, but I don't want him to be long-term manager, even if he wins the next 10 games in a row. I mean that. Even if he wins the next 10 games in a row, we need somebody with a proven... Actually, I don't know. Maybe if he won the next 10, that would change everybody's minds. But let's be honest, though. We need somebody with a proven record. Yeah, true. Big up Bob Abramovich says United talk too much about the past, claims Premier League is overrated. All right, steady on, mate. Steady on, Zlatan. Steady on, Zlatan, Billy Big Bollocks. You're living in the past, son. 39-year-old playing in the farmer's glue factory of the Serie A. Low will give you the pink eye, says Red Devils 20. Exactly. Don't want Joachim Low in the dugout, mate. He'll get the pink eye going around. You have players out on injured with pink eye regularly. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this video up then, but I just want to say thank you to everybody in here as well. Coda, Illa United, Batman Night Fan. Thank you so much to Disco Dave for the €5 super chat. Mark Ashton says the best coaches in Europe, Jurgen Klopp and Guardiola. I mean, they're doing brilliantly. Man, you should get rid of McTominay and Fred, says Farzad. Looks like Tuchel's a top coach as well at Chelsea. You know, it's not going to be easy for United at the moment. Thank you, Wiggy, says take it easy, Piggy. Oh, hang on, we're not going anywhere just yet because Mr. Man United Hodge has got in here with a $5 Aussie dollar super chat. And he says, seriously, Piggy, if you were in charge, what formation would you play and who would you play? It's an easy one for me, mate. If everybody's fit, let's just say everybody's fit, right? Everybody's fit. So out of the current players we've got, if I'm not allowed to sign anybody, if everyone's fit, 4-3-3, an attacking formation, very similar to how sort of Liverpool set up, but I'm having my midfield, you know, be as similar to Liverpool's midfield. I'm not asking them to do too much. You've got your workhorses in there, and you've got people who can control the game, and you're asking your forward players, the front three, to do a lot of your attacking creativity, and that's where the penetration is going to come from, right? So I would say 4-3-3, and as a back four, I would say, well, you've got Luke Shaw. It's got to be Luke Shaw, really, over the choice of them, based on last season's performances, not this. Slabby Maguire can piss off. The two centre-backs I would play right now would be Bailly and Varane, if everybody's fit. Right back, Wan-Bissaka. Central defensive midfield option, I'd probably put Donny van der Beek there. I'd probably stick him as a number 6, have him sitting in front of the back line and plastering it around. I'd get him doing the little Dutch Michael Carrick role, or, a Paul Scholes deeper sort of role. I'd have him pinging it around, playing like as a quarterback, spraying those long passes. Then I'd have Bruno Fernandes and Pogba maybe. I guess Pogba, but if not Pogba, then, I guess Bruno Fernandes and Fred maybe, or, that's the problem area. We need to sign a midfielder, really. We do need to sign a midfielder, but Bruno and somebody else in the midfield three, sat in front of basically Donny there. And then, of course, the front three of Rashford, Ronaldo, and Sancho. That would be mangasmic. Why can't we play with a 4-3-3 attacking formation like that? Yeah, people would say, the midfield is too lightweight. That's why I'm saying we need to get a better defensive-minded midfielder. But for now, Donny could maybe sit and play that deep line play and make a role for us. So that's what I would do. 4-3-3 attack, get at them. As sad as it is to say, I would just emulate Liverpool. High press, high intensity, but also you're not asking too much of the midfield. You look at midfielders in Liverpool's side, Keita, Henderson and Milner, usually. It's like they're all pretty good, but they're not outstanding. They're not overly technical. They're just very passionate, very dedicated, very committed, they put just maximum effort levels in there. They're workhorses, and they're not asked to do too much. They stay rigid in that midfield. They stay robust. And then they allow the likes of Salah and Mane and Firmino to go and create and rip opposition open. You need a solid base in that midfield. That's where United really struggle. So I would go with, as sad as it is to say, I just emulate the way Liverpool play. Is it really that hard? You don't want to copy, you don't want to do, but you just that's how United should be playing. I've always said it, with an attacking style, with an attacking formation, with that sort of an attitude of we're going to beat you 5-0. That should be our mentality. Coda says Piggy in. Their workmanlike, says Don Dada Diamond. Fred, well, that's what I was saying. Like, there's not that many. He's very mobile. There's not that many good midfielders at the United side. So ideally, not Fred. Ideally, not Pogba. But that's what I'm saying. Who have you got? You've got to choose one of them, because right now we don't have another midfield option, really. So that's why I'm saying him. Kept Piggy in charge of Man United Hodge. We need to get rid of Pogba. I agree, actually, Coda, yeah. Natalie PSG says, when are you doing a FIFA stream? I will be back tomorrow now, Natalie PSG, tomorrow night with a bit of FIFA action. I'm not hold yourself back tomorrow with the FIFA. You want to see Ndidi plus Bruno. Ndidi would be a wicked signing, Panash Vadney. Yes, mate. That would be beautiful. Someone like Kante would be perfect. PS, yeah. Fred is too lucky that he plays even in the Premier League, says Farzad. Piggy in. Thank you, my friend. Man United Hodge, thank you so much for that, though, by the way, for the super chat. That's sort of the formation and team roughly that I would play. Thank you very much for getting in here. Mark Ashton's a Liverpool fan and watch every single game. Every midfield player runs and pressing the same, closest to the maximum. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Pressing as a team, like pressing, why don't we press? Why don't we have that tenaciousness, that level of, intensity that Liverpool do? I agree. Like, our players are too nonchalant. They're too lazy, or certainly the previous system, the coaching staff, the stats and everything show us to be lazy. Yeah, that's right, Miko says Fred never hands his head and does try to move the ball. His first, though, yeah, it's not good. I would say that we might see a better Fred if you see him in a system that's not asking so much of him as well. He's not Claude Makelele. He's not N'Golo Kante. He's not good enough to command that area, in a midfield two or on his own, I don't think, and have so much space to have to, command. I think if you give him a, lesser role to do, I think he could be very good. Honestly, I do. He's listen, nobody tries harder than Fred. In some ways, the mentality and the effort levels of Fred is exactly what you want. If you had 11 of those, you'd probably do all right. I'm not even joking. Like, the mentality of Fred is great. Thank you very much, Man United Hodge. Thank you, AR Dan, Mikhail Kramer, Dizzy Red Devil says, headed out, Pig. Great job as always. Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you, guys. We're going to wrap this video up now. 2 likes away from 150 likes. Hit the thumbs up before we go. Do hit the subscribe if it's your first time here. Make sure you're checking out the website as well, unitedflyinghigh.com, for your latest Man United news. We'll be back tomorrow. There wasn't that much content today. Sorry about that, but tomorrow there will be much more content with the FIFA as well, and all the latest United news we'll be bringing at you throughout the day. So do get yourself involved. Make sure you click the little bell icon so you get notified when we post and go live, which is every single day. We give you all the latest Man United news. Thank you, Don Dada Diamonds, as we don't have the fullbacks that they to play like LFC. Only Tellez can. Fair point there, Don Dada. I do think Luke Shaw could do that too. Luke Shaw going forward last season was insane, the amount of chances and goals that he created. But definitely on the other side, Wan-Bissaka's not as good going forward, nowhere near as like somebody like Trent. That's a fair point. Thank you, Disco Dave. Thank you, Farzad as well. Much love. Thank you, Disco Dave, you Don. Farzad as well. Batman Night Fan United Prodigy. Oh yeah, the poll. Let's end the poll. Thank you very much. So have a quick vote in the poll. Let's end it there. Who would most people want to see come in if we cannot get Pochettino or a permanent manager? It is, let's have a look. The results are coming in. And the winner is Ragnick. Just, it's a close one. 34% would rather see Ralph Ragnick. 33% would like to see Ernesto Valverde. 22% would stick with Carrick to the end of the season. And 9% say Laurent Blanc. Wow. Hey, thank you, Haroli. Thank you so much, dude. See you later on as well. Thanks for getting in your legend as well. Big God Bob, Chelsea are 6-1 on for United game. Bloody hell, that is bad, isn't it? Big God Bob, filthy stuff. Big God Bob, have a good one, my friend. Thanks for supporting the channel and being a channel member legend. Ryan, Illy United, get in there, mate. We smashed 150. Let's go. Haroli, who else? Mikhail Kramer, all the moderators, Matty Rushmano. Thank you all the mods for getting in here and keeping this live chat safe. Palash Vadnir, Danny Ward, 420 Crusaders, King Face, Ryan, Batman Night Fan, Geordie Condon, Mark Ashton, Palash, Wiggy, Ille, everyone. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow. See you on the next one. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines would be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Guys, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow with all the latest United news. Take it easy. Sorry, no FIFA tonight, but we will be back at it tomorrow. Smash it up, fools. See you there. Have a good one. And come on, United. So